Mr. President, I hope the body will support what I call SB 5034, an incentive bill. And it's funny because the other day a very good friend of mine, former minority leader in the House, Ward Armstrong, called me and he asked me about how I felt about the Senate, and I said that I really like the discourse that goes on between both sides. And I listened carefully to the Senator from King George, and he talked about all the things that he didn't like in the bill, and I understand that. What's interesting is the perspective that I saw from this bill, and I know that the senator from northwestern Fairfax County has tried to accommodate everybody, and I applaud her for this, but this bill excluded what was described as felonies, violent felonies, and I counted 119 exclusions in this bill. Just went through it one after the other, and these are the bills that a person would not get earned sentence credits for. These are just some of them. It's kind of the opposite side of the senator from King George's comments. Number one, involuntary manslaughter. And that, of course, is that every lawyer in here knows is the accidental killing during the commission of a lawful act. The 70-year-old lady who's got a perfect driving record but kills somebody coming home from church. Involuntary manslaughter. Not eligible for earned sentence credits. Mob-related activity. Well, I'm sure most folks remember the star basketball player from the Peninsula, Allen Iverson. Went to Georgetown, played for the Sixers, is in the NBA Hall of Fame. He went to jail for a mob-related crime until he was pardoned by the governor and he went to Georgetown. That would not be an individual who would be able to earn sentence credits. I think the gentleman from King George referred to prostitution. Not eligible. Don't consider that a violent crime. You're not eligible for earned sentence credits if you marry somebody who you're not eligible to marry. Bigamy. You're married at 20, you go to Vegas and you get married and you don't see the person the next week for the next 20 years. You think, what happened to them? Maybe it's divorce, whatever. You marry again at 40. Well, that person is still living. You're charged with bigamy. You're not eligible for earned sentence credits. The list goes on about, and I guess the point is, the gentle lady from northwestern Fairfax County did her best, considering all of her colleagues, to fashion a bill, and that's what we have before us. But at the end of the day, it's the following. It's an incentive bill. I would tell my friend from King George, it's an incentive bill to incentivize people to do well whilst they're in prison. Take advantage of a drug program. Get your GED. Go to Orbit. Learn a trade. Be certified in drywall or painting. Incentivize them to do that rather than perhaps engage in mischief. And you know who understands this bill more than anybody, and it has been using it for decades? Insurance companies. They understand that the need to incentivize drivers to do well. They don't want to pay money for accidents, and they realize that if they incentivize somebody to drive well, there won't be an accident and there won't be a payout. So they created, the insurance companies were the folks who created this demerit system. And if you notice, as every year goes on and you're a good driver, your demerit points fall off, including reckless driving, which is actually a Class 1 misdemeanor. And they do that because they know, the insurance companies realize that people want to get to that 5+ point level. And if they do that, they're going to drive more carefully. And so that's what this bill is, incentivizing prisoners to do well. And then I know I'm trespassing on the body's time, but I just want to share a little vignette with you. I think it was a gentleman from Hanover that talked, I believe it was him, about not giving these people second chances. And this is tied in with driving offenses, but I remember, I don't know how many folks in Fairfax County remember, there used to be an area called Tyson's 2. They now have a big shopping center up there, but it was dirt, mounds of dirt. And we used to, as teenagers, ride our dirt bikes through there all the time. It was great fun. And the police would come up around the sides, and they would use their bullhorns, and they'd tell us to get out of the private property. And sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. We were having too much fun pretending that we were Steve McQueen, driving over, doing wheelies, going over these hills. And then the police got smart, Mr. President. And you know what they did? They sent in the Fairfax County Police on motorcycles to get us off of Tyson's 2 private property. Well, that just emboldened us. I mean, to now have the Fairfax County Police chasing us on motorcycles through acres of Tyson's 2, that was just the gold standard. But if I were to have been caught, and I never was, and I hope Senator Servo can tell me there's a statute of limitations on that, I wouldn't have a driver's license until I was 90. But we want to give people second chances, Mr. President. This bill not only incentivizes people to do well when they're incarcerated, but it gives them what? A second chance. I don't think the bill goes far enough. Many of these 119 crimes shouldn't be in there, but it's the best that we've been able to do, and it's because of compromise. So I hope the body will support it.